be very aware that trading, if you don't know what you're doing, 99% of the case you lose your money. So information is power.
This is the Mooncast.
See you, Space Cowboy.
Yeah, Bulgaria is very interesting because you guys were also colonized too, right, by the Ottoman Empire?
Well, we not actually colonized, but we were in their ego. I don't know, some kind of slavery, but not exactly because it's very hard to explain that half slavery kind of things. So we were 5 centuries under the Ottoman Empire.
So basically colonized.
Yeah, but but we were Bulgaria for 100 for 1,300 years. So just 500 of them. Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, a lot of history here.
Yeah, for sure. It's just because the reason I mention that is because, you know, as me from African descent, we were also colonized, you know, by the West until recently, you know. So I think maybe that's why there's potential synergies that I see a lot of times when I speak with Eastern Europeans, and I just get along with them a lot more easier. I mean, it's easier for me to connect with them, and that's something I realized. My best friend's actually Croatian, so. It's it's very, very interesting.
Yep, definitely. We got a little bit different energy here on the Balkans. As you know, my English is not my native language, so I will try best for you to understand me.
Yeah. So, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah. So can you a little bit break down how long like you've been in the Web3 cryptocurrency space and why you got into the space and to begin with?
Yeah, sure, mate. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nick. It's short from Nikola. It's Bulgarian name, like Nicholas. And I am a master degree in engineering in communication technology. So I like the technical stuff, and I kind of learn them, study them, and maybe before 3.5 years, I first time got into the crypto. Well, to be honest, I first heard about Bitcoin maybe 6 or 7 years ago, but then everything was so fresh, so how to say it, so something so new that my mind was screaming, "Don't invest in that! It's a scam! Stay away!" Because I got investing experience in all kind of what was the name?
Equities, stocks.
Yeah. Stocks, yes, and obligations. Yeah, and I am actually investing for the last 12 years in stocks. But when I heard about crypto for the first time, it was I was very conservative about it. But 3.5 years ago, I started to reading more about it, started to learning what is it and how and what is trying to do, how is trying to revolve to change the finances. And then it starting to get very interesting for me, because can you call you Van?
Yeah, Van. Yeah,
Van. Yeah, you can call me Nick. So Van, first when I met crypto, it was love of first sight. And,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, all the ideas behind it. When I start actually reading about it, not just hearing what people are saying, scam, and so on and so on, not the other people, what other people think about it, But when I start actually reading what is it about, I really love the idea. And to be honest, people who show me the crypto before 3.5 years are on the same level when they were back there. But I'm trying to improve myself. So I know 3 years are not so much, but when you are trying to improve yourself, to learn more, to get better and better, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, actually, I tend to, if you really put the work in, the time in, 3 years in the crypto space, taking it serious, is for me like 13, 12 years in other industries because the space is moving so rapidly and you learn so much in such a little amount of time because you're kind of forced to because the space moves so fast, you know? So I think that that's actually a good amount of experience, I would say. And it's all very new. It's like we're trying to build the third layer of the internet and the new stock market is basically what's happening. So I think it's interesting that you said that you've been in. So basically, 7 years ago is when you got familiarized with it, but you didn't get in until like 3 years ago. Like you didn't really take it serious until 3 years ago. Is that correct?
Yeah. Maybe even a little more, maybe even 8 years. I'm not sure. It was 2015, maybe something like that. I'm not quite sure.
What was it that got your attention? Was it an advertisement or what was it specifically that led you to just look at it and be like, oh, okay, this is weird, but it's interesting and just get a little bit of exposure from it? Where'd you first get your exposure?
Yeah, my first exposure was like something that I could mine and use my computer to mine it. I think the Bitcoin was something around $150 there, 200, something like that. And it was an opportunity to mine it with your computer, but back then, it was almost maybe if you mine $200, you should pay $100 bill for the electricity. It was something like that. Yeah, and it was a little bit hard. And when I turned back my mind back to there, I'm not sure even if I got in the crypto back there, maybe I would sell even on the first pump. It was a different mindset for me. It was a quite different mindset because when you are actually invest in stocks, if you got 10% or 15% per year, it's huge. And then boom, you got to the crypto where you could go to zero for 1 week or become or become rich. And it was very interesting for me to get into that. And
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the stock market a lot because actually I had a stock background too as well. So how were you able to retool your mind from the stock sort of terminology and way of thinking and retool that into the crypto space and how things function in the cryptocurrency space? How can you walk me through that process of that transition and when the light bulb finally went off, like, okay, I understand why this industry is important and I want to dedicate a portion of my life to this industry?
Yeah, that's very interesting question, to be honest. When I start first in the crypto, my mindset was very close to the investment in the stock market. Well, to be honest, there are still points where you could use the knowledge from there into the crypto because when you talk about dollar cost average strategy, it still works in the crypto. Even with this big volatile market, you could still use it. Because when you get those minuses, those minus 50, minus 60, minus 70%, and you keep doing dollar cost average, then the peak is much bigger. You take like 100% plus. So it still works. To be honest, it still works if you try to make the dollar cost average. But the risk management in the crypto is very different. And I'm not even sure, I'm not so into the trading. I'm more into the technology guy. I'm more into the dollar cost average. And as you know, we got a project that we are working on. And that changed my perspective for crypto a lot. And it was a slow process. I'm still learning into the trading part because to be a trader in the crypto, you should have iron nerves.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
should be iron. Your mindset should be iron because, as you see today, when we are talking, you see what is happening in the market. You
yeah,
got some
yeah,
big
yeah.
red candles and so on and so on. And that mindset is a little bit different from the stock market. But if you want to get the gains, you should risk it. It's a lot of so-called investors, or I don't know how to tell them, OGs in crypto. They told you every time, just invest
Yeah,
in
yeah,
crypto. What you could lose? Yeah, it's
yeah.
it's like
Yeah,
some written in stone for the crypto.
yeah, for sure. It's super interesting and fascinating to see because there's so many different ways. This is another thing too. I think people don't understand in crypto. It's not just I just buy something and wait for the price to go up and just keep dollar cost averaging like in the stock market. You can mine it, to earn a form of dividends, if you will. You can stake. You can do decentralized finance and yield farm, become a liquidity provider. You can participate in token sales that are early, launch pads. There's so many that you can trade, there's so many different things that you can do within the crypto space. There's people trading NFTs, launching NFTs. You can launch different projects. It's just anyone around the world can join from anywhere around the world. And I think that's the beauty behind it, but also the madness behind it too, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Especially that when you say about NFTs, you could even try to find that art value in the in the NFTs. It's a little bit hard for me to actually find the art value, but some people do it. So
Yeah.
when you're talking about trades, it's very interesting because could I talk a little about our project because it's very
Yes.
very close to the things we are talking about. Because 1 year
Please.
ago, yeah, me and my team, we got a pretty interesting team. The core team is from Bulgaria, and we like trading some small capitalization tokens. We like to risk it. We like to gamble it with some small amount of money. And back then, maybe before 1 year, we were thinking how to make it a little bit better. That process, that idea of trading little tokens, little capitalization tokens, and then we start building our platform. Our platform is called Shillguard, and the name is because we gathering signals from over 50 influencers and call groups in Telegram, and we are trying to take their signals, deep analyze them, getting the data behind them, and trying to see how the whole process is happening. Because it's very interesting when we're talking about trading. When you open our platform, you could see how many tokens are actually dead in 1 week after they give so-called signal. And it gives you a very different perspective in how to trade in crypto, how to invest your money, what to expect. It changed my mindset too, because back in the days before I actually see it with my own eyes, how many tokens
Yeah.
died in practically 1 week. I was about, yeah, maybe the next token will be that's 100 x's, 1,000 x's, and so on, so on. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting to actually see the data, to see what's
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
And
It's absolutely it's true. It's true.
yep, it's not just about the signals, but the crypto is very much about the trust. Where to, well, investing is pretty big word for people who are throwing their money in the small crypto tokens. So investing maybe is not the right word, but when you try to gamble there, it's a whole different world, the world of small tokens. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
actually, there the tide is changing in hours, and that's what we are trying to do. A tool where those new people in crypto, those new people who like to gamble, like to take those signals, like to make some uh, hard gamble, hard digging gamble stuff, they're trying to go. They would be able to go to our platform and try to make a little better choice. Because let's be honest, we are not a prophets. We don't know what will blow up, what will make 1,000 X's, and so on and so on. But if we actually help with 20%, that will be huge for those people.
Yeah, absolutely. So your goal is micro frequency trading using call signals from influencers slash traders to be able to determine what's the higher probability that I can get this person a 20 to 30% return in a short amount of time.
Yep. Yes, you could say that because we got profiles for everyone on our platform, every call group. When you see their profiles, when you open their profiles, and when you see their last 21 calls, you could see some patterns. Is he making those calls just for the money? Is he checking those tokens? What is happening with the tokens itself? Because we got some pretty unique indicators on our platform. I'm not sure. Could I share something from my phone?
I don't think so. But you could kind of try to
No, I
describe it
don't
a
think
bit.
so. Yeah, it's not so good. But our unique indicators are trying to help them to make a better analysis on what is happening. Because yes, there are lucky calls. When you see those lucky 100 X's or 1,000 X's of some token, you could check his 20 calls, and if it's only one, well, it's maybe a luck. If it's more than one, if he got some winning pattern, we got some indicators that like trace. One of our indicators trace that is showing in live how are all of his tokens performing, how many of the tokens are dead, and when you see that, you could make some informant choices. I know it's not perfect. We built that a lot, maybe for 5 months, and we got a token with it who is supporting the platform, and it will be kind of a premium thing, because for now everything is free on our platform. People just open, check their analysis, check the data, everything is free. But we are thinking to add some premium functions that will be that you will be needed our token to hold, and that will open for them the premium functions. For now, we use our income from the platform to make buybacks and burns, just to make a stable our token. When you burn the token, you got better levels of support. And we are building step by step. We are trying to make it better. We made one update so far. We are getting our bot for signals that will show our signals in Telegram, in our group, and in community groups, not token groups, but in the community groups that want to check those signals. And we got plenty of idea how to make it happen, and how to make it better to be one pretty useful tool. Because we start our conversation about all those trades, and we actually know how hard to find the right token, hold it, what to do. The crypto is, I don't know how to say it. It's a place where you could not sleep well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've definitely had a lot of sleepless nights for sure, and especially if you're. It's tough, I think I don't know if you're familiar with token metrics.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I know token.
I know some.
Yeah, token metrics basically created an algorithmic formula to basically break down all the different data points that makes a good token great to invest in and has a higher probability to get a higher exponential asymmetric rate of return. And so I don't know if you guys are thinking about potentially going more into that AI route, or what is your angle when with the influencers, and how did you choose those specific influencers to follow for the calls? Is it did you do a whole bunch of research on your own, or did you use some kind of data analytics? Like, how was that? Can you walk me through that process?
Yeah, very interesting question, my friend.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the key points. In the moment when you start the platform, we start with all those known influencers, best known in the community, because we ourselves know who are most famous, and famous is not same as trustable. Let's
Exactly.
not mistake.
Or
Yeah,
knowledgeable.
that's why we made the platform actually, because trusted and known is not the same thing, and we could add whatever we want to. We are changing some, we are deleting other that are not performing so well. We could made it whatever we want. In the When we start with the most famous one, and when we talk about AI, it's very interesting question, because we will try to implement AI trading for our platform. It will be not just for those influencers. When you talk about tokenomic, there are some safe bots who are reading the contract, who is reading for hidden functions, who is reading for all those hidden things in the contract. We will implement that too. And when some of the so-called influencers or call groups or whatever are calling, is giving a signal, we will make that analysis for the token itself. Because our goal, I will tell you now, because that's the next the next very big thing we are working on, is our own APIs. Our own APIs will read directly from the blockchain, and will open our hands from everything you could imagine in the crypto world. Because when we got our own APIs, we could make AI trading wallet. We could read all the call groups we want, 100, 200, 300, because in the moment we got some limitations in the requests we could make to the blockchain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's why when we are starting to build it right now, our own APIs, maybe in the next month, because we will release our Telegram bot in May this month. And when we release our bot, we continue with our APIs, because that will change the game. We will open our hands for all those things that you are asking for.
Yeah.
When we got our own APIs, we are working parallel with it for our AI wallet. Because why is most of the tokens using AI? That's sorry, it's a little bit tricky question, because a lot of tokens are saying they are AI, but they are not.
Yeah. I know.
Let's talk about the real AI tokens. Let's talk about the real AI. We will try to use AI to make a better trade, because all those signals that we're gathering, and we will analyze them. We will analyze, because we got a news feed, we got APIs with news. We could analyze all those key news from the day. We could make it like some kind of reading of those signals. And as you know, the trends in the crypto are changing daily. Yes, there's some trends that will stay for a month, but those fast trades, those, let's say, presidents of the USA, let's say cats, let's say dogs, they're fast-paced trades. And we could combine our signals, our way of trading, with those daily trends, and we got ideas how to make our future AI wallet to get, let's say, if people release 1,000 tokens today, because in the bull market, I'm sure there will be at least few hundred tokens per day. We will try to make our tool to analyze them and to choose, let's say, 10 or 15 tokens of them with high probability for getting in the trend. And that's our next step. That's what we are aiming next for. And for that, we need our own APIs.
Yeah. So you guys trying to be ahead of the curve. It's interesting, but what if someone wanted to just then say, okay, let me just go to GPT-4 and ask GPT-4 so it can calculate that for me? What would be the differences and nuances between a GPT-4 versus actually going to your platform and leveraging that to get the information?
Well, GPT-4 would not be able to analyze even the half of our statistics because it doesn't gather all that data, all that historical data. It doesn't gather the performances of those scores because that will be part of the process. Let's say we got an indicator called success rate. It's an average success rate of our different indicators. One of our, let me explain, it will be clear for you when I explain how it works. Let's say our indicator called peak. Peak means what is the most positive impact of the token after it's called by the call group. The most positive, only the positive. When you get the average of all 30, 20, 30, when we got our APIs, we could gather more than 100 calls in one time. Then you could see that his average peak is, let's say, 200% per the call group.
Yeah.
That exact call group. When you could think about that, then you could calculate that if you put $100 on every signal he made, you made a profit of 2x or something like that, because it's average. It's average on every signal he's making. And when we got our own API, you could make it with so deep analysis and data that you could actually be, well, not 100% accurate, but let's say if you are the game trader and you like those small market cap tokens, you know what I'm talking about. Giving you those tools, it's huge. It's huge. But yes, we need a lot more work to do. But yes, we are on the right track. I'm hoping so. You know me. You saw me. We are fully doxed. We are with our names, with our faces. A lot of Bulgarian community know us by our names and by our faces. So we are not some scammers or something like that. You know where we met.
Exactly. Yeah. It was really nice to connect with you at the Pan Blockchain Association. So event. It was great, and I really like this type of networking events too as well, because you learn a lot and you get to meet a lot of interesting people like yourself. So it's really cool. I wanted to ask you about because there's also a utility. Well, there's also a token, right?
Yep, it's a token that supports our platform. It's called HGT. We are on almost $1 million market capitalization now, but that's a small token. It's a relatively small token, and it's just in the beginning of our journey. In the moment, first of all, to say that our token, we paid to a company called Consult, which is doing only this. It's deploying tokens, it's made tokens so we could get the best possible contract. We are not some kind of self-made tokens that will be scammer tokens with hidden contracts or something.
Yeah. And so it's basically a smart contract auditing firm.
Yep. It's auditing, and it makes the contract and deploy.
Oh, wow.
And we didn't even get any airdrops or something like that because Consult deploy our contract, and it was complete fair launch of our token.
Hey bro, I'm just trolling is something that will not just challenge your perspective, but also touch your heart and soul. It's a book that defies convention, blending art and literature into a thought-provoking masterpiece. A reflective piece of provocative art that tackles societal constructs from angles you've never considered. Hey Bro, I'm Just Trolling delves into the very essence of our existence. It questions the technology that surrounds us, challenges our notions of beauty, stares unflinchingly into the eyes of death, and questions the boundaries of freedom. It scrutinized the educational system that molds our very future. This book is a journey, an exploration of shared human experience, and it's a work of art that refuses to be confined by tradition. It's a canvas painted with words, a melody of thought, and a testament to the power of creativity in a world dominated by algorithms and data. Visit moonboycapitalventures.com and get your hands on Hey Bro, I'm Just Trolling today. It's not just a book, it's a movement. Now let's jump back into the show.
Oh, that's amazing.
After that we made a second audit from CoinScope. That's a pretty good auditing company who is CoinScope got a bull mark on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. It's kind of officially approved to make audits. And that's all for security purposes, because we don't care for the audits, it's all for the community. All those audits are about safety of the community, not about us. And we value our community. And
no, that's amazing.
And as I said, mate, our token, idea behind our token is because we want to become a brand in the crypto that is that's kind of connected with security, with a good with a tool, with a good choices, with the good choices in crypto. And when we got that token, it will be like a premium. When you got our token, it will be used as a premium tool for our platform, and probably for our AI wallet that I talk about. To use our AI wallet, you need to hold our token. That will be the only way to use it. Not a big part of our token, let's say something like $200 or something like that. But it makes it more like a utility for the token, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. I'm just curious if there's an asset appreciation of the token. So would it be like a fixed amount? Let's say like 100 SGT, but then let's say you 10x in terms of market cap. So it's more expensive for people to then have that bare minimum to be able to have access to those AI tools and etc. So how do you plan to mitigate that?
We will adjust it in the time, but let's if you know how DEX tools works, they got the same way of performing the same premium packages. And in the moment, it's pretty expensive actually to have premium for DEX tools. It was so cheap back in a few years, and now it's almost like one at ETH or something like that. I kind of forgot the what was now their premium functions, but we will try to make it maximum fair for our community and for our holders, because it's not fair only the whales to get access to our trading tool. So maybe we will adjust it, and if we get to, let's say, 100 million, we will adjust the price and still make it, let's say, $1,000, but it will be not 100x's from here. It will be still more expensive, but not so that it will be impossible for people to use it.
No, it makes absolute sense. And what other utility does the token have? Like, what would be the incentivization for people to then want to buy the token outside of what you've mentioned?
The other thing that we will get forever is when we got our income from the platform, and one part we will make standard for the future, but now it's kind of not fixed yet. We will be always for buybacks and burns, because that's something that works. Binance use it, DEX tools use it, all the big platforms, all the big tokens use that mechanic. not just the premium plans, but the income is going for buyback and burns, because when you make buybacks of your token and burn those tokens, they get out of circulation forever, and that
Yes.
is hiring the for your community. That's something that helps everyone, not just the whales, not just the big investors. The bigger four helps everyone, every single one of those small investors who is just trying to support you, buying some HGT, trying to help you out and make it or make it some fast trades. So that will be one part of our usage for our token, not just the premium plans, not just because when we got our APIs, we will sell them to. When we build them, we will use them, but one part will be for sale, and that will be part of the income too. We got an advertised company on our platform, we got banners. That income will go for buyback too. We got, when our bot is out, I hope in the middle of May, our bot will be out. It will get an advertising section on the bottom of the bot. You could advertise your token, you could advertise something. You know how Telegram bots work. That income, part of it, it's going back for buybacks. We are thinking, to be honest, we are thinking for some kind of, how to say it, program where we could put part of that share to the holders, some kind of revenue program, but we are not sure how to make it most fair, because most of those kind of revenue shares are about the whales. Only the whales get anything from that. And you know, that's not very fair for the small holders.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, revenue models are always very interesting. You know, I think that plus the incentivization models in combination is what a lot of crypto projects are missing. Either they're lacking in the monetization, or they're lacking in the revenue, or they're lacking in both. And the one interesting thing about crypto, what I realized, is that a lot of people launch a project, and instead of creating something that's like sustainable, where you can actually exchange that good or service or the thing that you're launching in return for value, they're just basically pulling the value from the Web 2 space into the Web 3 space, but then not really having a plan afterwards of what to do with the value that they've extracted, you know. And I think that's where community building, governance, these types of elements helps. But I wanted to ask you, what is your monetization model currently right now, or do you not have one? Are you guys still thinking about it? How do you guys plan to generate consistent cash flow, or is that something that you guys are thinking about in the roadmap down the pipeline?
Yep, definitely. So as I said, our token, when I talk about our token, it got a 5% tax. Buy and sell tax, 5%. So it kind of, the token and the platform are mutually connected, because those 5% from the token and from those 5% are actually from the volume, as you know, the volume that the token is making. They are going back to the marketing, development. They are going back for our staking pool, and in the same time, our platform income, because we are very early now, we made a lot of updates. We are now starting to make it actually working good, our platform. The income will be going for the token itself. So that combination, token is helping the platform and the platform is helping the token, is what we will keep evolving and keep making better. So that will be our revenue model for the team, not just for the holders, but for the team itself.
Got it.
And yes, as you know, most of those kind of platforms are, when they become big enough, they're actually making their money from the platform itself, not from the token. It become kind of community tokens, DEX tools and so on and so on. They don't they are making much more money from the platform itself. So that's our idea. Now we are getting those taxes, reinvest them, getting them into the platform, and the platform becoming better and better. It helps to grow and invest the money from the platform back for our holders and back to the token. It's pretty simple model. I know it's not something new, but it's working. It's a working model. Yes, in the future we will aim for some extra ways of some incomes, like maybe those profiles. What am I talking about? Those, if you know, in DEX tools, when you want to list a token, if you want to update the token, to update its info, to update its socials, to update everything, you pay. You pay to DEX tools. Yeah. And that's a part of our plan when we are famous enough, when we are big enough, to make it a more income from the platform. Listing tokens, becoming something like, when we got our own APIs, we will be something like DEX tools, but with a twist, with a little more extras, like all those traits that will be, let's say, helped from our AI.
With the distribution from the tax, is that all being done manually or via smart contract?
It's from the smart contract. It got 5% from the smart. But you're talking about the marketing and so on.
No, the distribution from the taxes. Because remember, you said you're taking a bit of a tax and then you're redistributing that back to the holders. So I was wondering, is that smart contract distribution or is that manual distribution?
No. The buyback is still manual because we cannot calculate it right now. It's different, and it's different from the market conditions and so on. So it's 5% taxes. They are going in the marketing wallet, and we make buyback from the marketing wallet. If you open our contract, you see we already burned 12% of our supply, which is huge now.
Walk me through a little bit to the token. Yeah, that's a lot. And it's only been, how long have you guys been out?
Almost 6 months. The token is live for 6 months, something like that. We start on 6th of November, so soon we will be, let me check, November, December, yes, almost 6 months.
Nice. So walk me through a little bit of the tokenomics. So how was that actually distributed? I know you said it was a fair launch, but did you keep a portion of that for marketing, or how did you basically disseminate the tokens?
No, when we fair launch, all the tokens were locked in Uniswap. We got locked in CoinSuit. In CoinSuit, we got only the stake because they built for a stake. We got stake on the website. You could see those triples in our Ether scan. You could see our three staking pools, and they injected, not our team, the CoinSuit injected the tokens in the staking pool. They are something like 5-6% that are locked for rewards for the people from the staking pool, and everything else was on a fair launch. We didn't get any team tokens. We didn't get any tokens at all. Of course, when people trade, we got one part of those 5% in tokens, and we use them for, as I said, for buybacks, for burns, for future listings in the exchange, and so on and so on. But all those tokens were on a fair launch, not some kind of locked tokens that we use now.
Yeah.
Everything we got was from taxes or from buybacks.
Okay. Yeah, no, it makes absolute sense. And when you look at the target demographic, I just want to make sure that it's clear that you're looking for mainly people who don't have the time to look for these micro caps to trade and would rather use your platform to kind of, alleviate all the headaches, right? You're looking for that sort of demographic.
Well, that's a very interesting question. Who will be using our platform? I'm not
Yeah.
very sure one because even me, as an experienced shitcoin trader, I know how hard it is. Uh, Even I am using my platform to see some trends. To see, in the moment I'm not trading so actively because I'm trying to reinvest everything in our token. I'm giving all my time for our token, but we, but the idea is I am still checking the trends on our platform. So to be honest, I think everyone could find something. Even an experienced trader could open our platform and trying to see the trends now, trying to see what is viral and what are those call groups now. Let's say what kind of signals are giving now, what is make big profits and what is that in, let's say, 2 days or something like that. Because let's be honest, most of the meme coins, most of the shit coins are dead in a, let's say, a week is a lot, maybe 2 3 days.
Yeah.
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 only
Yeah.
only the real utility tokens stand a chance, but even they, the real, I'm saying again, the real utility tokens, because they are tokens that are pretending to be utility, but
Yeah.
they are not actually. Yeah, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yes,
So
I know.
even the real utility tokens are having a hard time. But yes, when you got to like our token, something that you built constantly, yes, we will not make 100x for 2 days or
Yeah.
for 1 week. But when you see those trends, when you see those utility tokens are pumping slow but sure, and in the same time when you see those meme coins, those shit coins that are making huge peaks with 100x's, but they are dead probably in the next 2 days, and you don't know when to take and close your profit, it changes your perspective. So even if you are an experienced trader, you could find something on our platform. We got a news section. You could see what is happening in the crypto world now. Why is Bitcoin dumping and so on and so on. It's let's be honest. Everyone could find something. Yes, the experienced trader. The difference will be that the experienced trader will open our platform, but in the same time he will open 10 more things like some trading bot, some trading tool, DEX tools, uh, coin market cap, maybe 2 3 bots for sniping and something like that. By the way,
Yeah.
we will try to integrate a snipe bot in the future to our platform because it will help
Okay.
people to shoot the right signal just in the first second, but that's in the future plans. And the experienced trader will be like that, but those new traders, those new crypto enthusiasts will just come to our platform. They will try to understand a little better how crypto works, a little better. Of course, we are not perfect. We will try to improve ourselves. We will try to constantly evolving into something better. And just to say something very important, all people who are listening, just if you got some kind of a request, some kind of how you trade to share with us, that's very important for us. The feedback, we need it a lot. We need that feedback from our community. Because I don't know about Spotify, maybe you share with me how is the community in Spotify. But in the moment, Telegram is kind of not so lively like it was in the last bull run. I'm expecting
Yeah.
Telegram to be a much more active maybe in the next few months, maybe next 5 6 months. But in the moment, most of
Yeah.
the people are bored and they run out from Telegram and from crypto. What is your
Yeah.
observation about it?
Yeah, I don't think we're at the peak bull mania yet. I still think that there's still some months where we'll see some sideways action in terms of the market and maybe a little bit downwards and a little bit maybe in this 54 to 62 range. And also, I did hear something in regards to retail in a lot of the ETFs that open up is still not being allowed to really initiate trading, with the ETF. So I think that maybe they're lowering the prices a little bit so that retail can really get in and start allocating capital towards ETFs. and which would add the buying pressure and creating the FOMO to then start the actual bull run. But I never thought we were actually in the actual bull run. But it's if we this is the first. I would say we're transitioning towards the second wave, right? So after the halving, for me, the first wave was pre-halving, and then this is the second wave right now. Where's a little bit of the post halving, and then there's the third wave and the final wave where it's time for to in when you go to the club and they say, hey, this is the last call for alcohol, and you're still there, the lights are on, you see how ugly everybody is, and those are the people that usually become exit liquidity. So that's kind of how I'm looking at the market right now currently. And I think it's a really good opportunity to get into altcoins specifically. I think the Bitcoin trade is already finished. I think I was telling my audience to buy in at 17K. So I don't think that the Bitcoin, look, it depends on your approach, right? With investing, right? If you're thinking 5-10 years from now, then Bitcoin is the obvious play because it's going to do about a 20x, right? And that's a really good rate of return in like a 8 to 10 year time span, right? But if you're trying to play around with the altcoins, now is a really good time to start, I think, dollar cost averaging into altcoins because they're almost at the level that they were about a year ago, so which is great.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yes, we are not yet there. The altcoins didn't start their move. And I don't know about Bitcoin. Yes, it made some huge movements, but I'm not sure even for this cycle. Maybe it could hit 150. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at all the buying pressure that's happening, when you look at El Salvador continuing to accumulate, you look at the ETFs getting opened up in Australia, you look at the ETFs that got approved recently on the 30th of April in Hong Kong, the ETFs that got approved in the States, obviously. And there's going to be constant buying pressure for Bitcoin. It's only a matter of time, and they're still marketing the thing, and they're still trying to educate their investors on why they should allocate 1 to 5% of their current retirement portfolio into Bitcoin. That does come with a little bit of negatives because it kind of defeats the purpose of what Bitcoin was designed to be. If BlackRock is kind of owning a large percentage of Bitcoin, like 5-10%, it's quite a lot. So I think a lot of people need to get a little bit of education on self-custody, understand the importance of that. But I do believe that there will be constant buying pressure, and I do believe that we will see beyond 100K Bitcoin, by the time the cycle ends. Also, we have to also look at the liquidity cycles, right? So the liquidity cycles haven't changed yet. And so the Fed still hasn't reversed from quantitative tightening. And we'll see what happens with what they decide to do as the year progresses. But a lot of people are still getting squeezed. There was the bank recently that had to get shut down because they're operating on 1% or less liquidity. And because of this tightening within the cycle, making it hard and expensive for people to borrow cheap debt. So debt is very expensive. So I think there's another catalyst too is the elections. So you also want to be going to an election year with the economy thriving and doing well, at least on paper. So I think this is some of the catalysts that I look at when seeing how the market's going to transition within the next 6 to 12 to 18 months. And yeah, I think it's a very good buying opportunity currently right now.
Yep, definitely agree with you. When we're talking about trading, you said something very important. It's very important to know what you are aiming for. Are you aiming for the next 10 years or you are trying to make money for the next 2 weeks? That's very important to know what you are trying to do. And I don't know, it will be very, very interesting bull run for me. I'm not sure how it will turn on, but it will be quite interesting. I'm hoping for all those investments from so-called big companies, big funds, and I don't know. It could change the game a lot, and maybe that is the last cycle that people with small capital, with small funds, could actually make some nice money. That's not on that's not a financial advice, but
Yeah.
when those big money gets into the into the crypto, I think it will become like stocks. If you made 15% per year, you will be happy, or something like that. Of course, all those gamble tokens, small gambles and so on, they will be always alive. There's equivalent in the stocks, those risk capital small companies, but the big one, the Bitcoin, the Ethereum, I pretty much like Chainlink.
Chainlink,
like that. Yeah, it's my favorite for the bull run. We wait him for a second or third bull run. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
To blow our minds, but it's still not happening. We will see. But those big tokens will maybe on the next cycle it will be not so interesting for so-called degens like us, like me. Let's say, like me.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you said you are more like an investor, not so on the game place.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm more so invest in really good, projects that I think have long-term staying power, and I place my capital there, and I just wait, 4 or 5 years before I think about taking any profit. So I also invest in early stage projects before they launch. But for me, it's more so, does this have staying power, and can I sleep comfortably at night knowing that it's not a scam and they're actually trying to solve a real problem and eventually, bring a lot of value and liquidity, to whatever it is that they're trying to build. So everyone has their own outlook on it. For me, I don't have the time to sit on my laptop or my phone and just trade the market. And yeah, I have an investment research group of about 44 members now. And so they kind of help fill in those knowledge gaps for me too as well, which makes it easy for me to be able to navigate the market and know what to do in decision making and so on. But you definitely shouldn't be putting all your money into one basket, which is the cryptocurrency space, because it is very, very volatile. And a lot of people can't stomach the volatility. I do recommend a lot of people to have majority of their allocation into Bitcoin, just because Bitcoin has staying power and it's fully decentralized, as opposed to basically all the other altcoins, but like one or two, where there's actually, dev team and etc. Where Bitcoin just kind of runs on its own and does its own thing, and there's no one that can really stop it, and it's mathematically just going to keep doing what it's supposed to do in terms of minting new blocks and verifying transactions and so on. So it just depends on, like I said, your risk tolerance. For me, I have 80% of my portfolio actually in Bitcoin and Bitcoin ecosystem. So because there's a lot of development happening on top of Bitcoin too as well. And then I play around with also like 20% of my crypto portfolio. But looking to also, you got to diversify into land, into real estate, other things. So I think it's important as an investor to have a holistic approach to investing. So in case one thing's down, another thing is doing okay.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I will be happy to come to our some of our podcasts on Twitter for with our projects. So we get them, well, not every week, but in few weeks we got one podcast or AMA where we talk with other projects, with other people, and to educate them, to help the education for our community. It will be great to have you there. And when we're talking about trading, as I said, I'm not trading anymore. I'm focused on our project, and Ethereum, I like more Ethereum. I'm not really the Bitcoin guy, to be honest with you. But yes, Bitcoin got the fundamentals, and yes, Bitcoin is the so-called the safe choice for the people who don't know what they are doing. So I totally understand your vision, and that's great. That's great to have that vision, how to be financially independent, how to try to be more and better informed about your financial decisions, because that's very important and very rare now. Let's be honest, most of us people don't care about that. And
absolutely.
That's what we are trying to do on our platform. Yes, we are trying at the moment with those small caps, because as you know, risk reward is big there, especially in the bull run. But yes, in the moment, the risk is huge. The risk is huge. That's what we try to minimize. The risk for the people who will get in the crypto in the next 5-6 months. It will be body.
Absolutely, man. You're absolutely you're correct, man. So before we close off, man, I just want to ask, where can people find you and Shillguard on the internet?
Our website is shillguard.com, and we got Twitter. We got on our website. We got all our social networks. We got Twitter, Telegram, Discord, YouTube, Facebook. But to be honest, in the moment, in the crypto for all those small cap tokens, Twitter and Telegram are the best place to get informed. And that was a very interesting experience for me to be your guest and talk about Spotify. I think if you come as a guest in our community, it will be interesting to talk about how Spotify is working, how it's regulating, and how it's influential in the crypto. Because to be honest, I don't know it. I don't know how Spotify is affecting crypto in the moment.
Yeah, it's still it's still earlier days. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. It's definitely early days, but I'm kind of pioneering this podcasting space in Spotify and all these different podcast outlets. The podcasting space is growing year in and year out. And so, I think it's very important to have, staples and thought leaders within this particular space for people who, want to tune into something while they're working out or exercising, or they're, cleaning their room or their apartment or whatever it is, So, I try to be that outlet for them.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant idea to try to be one of the first in the Spotify. As I said, I'm using Twitter much more and Telegram. That's our main networks, but it's very interesting for me how it will turn out. Those podcasts on Spotify, I think it's growing and getting bigger. Maybe it will be the next big thing for the crypto. I don't know. As you know, in the beginning, Reddit was a big thing for the crypto. Now Telegram is one of the biggest. And Twitter, the things are changing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, do you have any closing thoughts before we go, man?
Well, stay safe when you trade. Trading is not for everyone. If you are not sure what you are doing, get more information. Be very aware that trading, if you don't know what you are doing, 99% of the case you lose your money. So information is power. Don't lose. Don't try to gamble. Don't try to make those gamble plays. Yes, sometimes they turn out good. Yes, you make some profit. But if you make it with luck, not with your knowledge, you lose it on the next trade. So stay informed. Listen to the people who knows what they're talking about. Try to educate yourself, and that's the way to get better in crypto, and not just in crypto, in every kind of financial and instrument you are using. So
absolutely.
Thank you for your invitation. It was a pleasure for me. I hope to talk again. I will be happy to come and talk with our community to educate them, and it will be a pleasure for me. Thank you, mate.
Thank you, Nick, man. So this concludes this episode then of the Mooncast, and peace.